VMP at Arch. VMP is my favorite. God is my shaper. All day, every day. Yeah. Check.
It's supposed to have those H's there. Where's the H?
Well, remember that writing is new in black.
Sapetela ke nawe kwelo cala.
Hayi sosazonzuza khona.
Oh man, what it is, man. What's up?
What is up with you, man? What's up?
Yo, welcome to FKU Africa Podcast. Yeah, this is your host, Maneza F8. We're keeping it cool here in Worcester, City Camagu, kubo bonke abasibukeleyo. Siyanibulisa. Sithi uqamata mangabe nani maxa wonke. We say we give thanks to All High and the Lord of the Wings. Sibulisa bonke, sibulela bonke nezinyanya zethu kubonke bakwele mimoya. So things have been happening. I don't even have a topic today. I'm just I've been reading through about what has been happening in Phoenix, in Durban. So just before it happened, I already had an interest on the Indian South African history and the actual culture. I did some few investigations towards Mahatma Gandhi, who also was a big figure in South Africa in the Indian community. So now that we are in this situation we are in, where many of our people, which is black people, are being killed in the predominantly Indian society, which is Phoenix, in Durban. It got my attention, and I went back to my research just to understand now what was the relationship between the blacks and the Indians during the apartheid times, during the times where South Africans were under the rule of the British and were under oppression. So to dive into that, it just made me understand few things on what is really happening and why do people really getting scared of some sort of a civil war, which I don't think will happen anyway. That thing is almost over. If it's not over yet, it's not being highlighted as much as it was. I'm hopeful that it's over because it's not good for anyone. It's not good for any of us. Yes, more than 30 people, if I'm not mistaken, have died, which are black people. None of the Indians have died. So people have been talking about black people wanting to get their revenge and stuff. So those things were dismissed by many of the Zulu people that were speaking for the people that have died, speaking on behalf of the families, all saying that this is not going to be good for anyone. We should just come together and just let what has happened go, which I don't understand. People should be jailed. People who created those criminal offenses, killing people is a criminal offense here in South Africa. The last time I checked, though, it was a criminal offense. So I would be expecting someone to go to jail, which is what our government has failed into doing, making sure that people are being accountable for these kind of situations. This is where we are now. We're ending up having this a civil war brewing, being talks of of Zulu people wanting to get their revenge on Indians. So it's just crazy, man. It's a situation that I don't really condone, that I don't really want. It's just a failure on our government, because for this to happen in the first place, uh, it was the failure on our government. The looting happened. If you don't know what is this situation with the Indian and Zulus, what have happened is in the past few weeks there was a looting happening where most black people and some colored Indians, not only black people, most people who are so-called poor, were entering into malls, into big shop, into warehouses, just taking whatever they wanted, burning down malls, um, burning down warehouses and the malls. Yes, I actually did an episode on that. So let's just see if we which episode it is, so that you can check it out. I will have probably uh, I will have the link on the description so that you can just go straight. But I don't really have to. If you are listening and or watching this one, you just need to tap to FKU Africa podcast, the channel, and then go to the episode, which is this one. This is the episode that explains what have happened, the looting. It is titled "Is Zuma really responsible for looting? How South Africa is going to survive it?" So this is the episode. This is episode 55, just before the last episode that we have. That is now, it's all about VEX and jobs and being mandatory and compulsory, all these kind of things. So you need to check that out. Check that video out, so that you can understand what is really an issue between Indians and blacks, which are Zulus, which are native South Africans. So uh, today, before I go to the video that I want to play, so today, the party that is an opposition party here in South Africa took it to the street. It's a big march. People are out there marching against this massacre. They call it Phoenix Massacre. So they are marching against that because those people were killed, and until so far, I know no one who is held responsible for it. They were shot dead, some they were stabbed, and all these things happened to those black people. So the EFF, which is the third largest political party here in South Africa, went to the street, organized a big march. They are there now, even when we're speaking now, they are there. They are making the speech. I think they are still live. We will go to them. So, so this is what I want to play for you. What is happening? So, police are there. Police are on their way. This was a little bit earlier on in the morning, but when what was happening during that time, there was no police. There were police. They were nowhere to be found. People looted malls. More than 160 malls were looted. Drugs were brought down in fire. People were all over into these facilities without the presence of the police, until people of Phoenix who were Indians, they went to their own malls and stand guard in their malls and shoot everyone that was trying to get into their malls. This is where what has led into this. There were no police even there in Phoenix. So I'm amazed now to see a number of police like this. So when you are thinking about these things, you think, what is the outside world think of these things? What is the history of Indians and South Africans? So let's see what is the outward world. outside world think, because I've ran through this video, and I think these people are from this is, I think this is from somewhere in India. So I will just stop where I have to explain stuff, because when I was listening to it earlier on, there was a lot of information that was not true that needed to be explained. So let's listen. I'll probably stop as more as I usually do, because a lot of stuff that I need to explain to you. You can't be misled like this.
Started off as a protest for one man, former President Jacob Zuma. Today it has engulfed the entire country. Business owners are complaining of financial ruin. Families are hiding in their homes, scared of being targeted. As always, some communities are facing the brunt of it. Like the Indian diaspora, they fear the riots are slowly revealing a racial divide in South Africa. Is the country that defeated apartheid forgetting its roots? Why are Indians being targeted for South Africa's failures? Our next report.
So, why Indians are being targeted for South Africa? Even the title of this says, "Why are Indians being targeted in South Africa?" Man, this is pure and utter BS. But I understand if this woman is actually from India or countries that are close to India, they would have those kind of questions. Why are South African Indians being targeted? But this is not the case. Not even one Indian have died during this. More than 20 or 30 people have died. I want to say 30, because the last time I checked, the number was 30 people that have died in Phoenix. So none of those people that have died at all in the hands of black people. So I don't really understand why this beautiful woman busy spreading this kind of lies about Indian being targeted in South Africa. There's no such thing that have happened even yet.
Report explores.
These are post-apocalyptic scenes in South Africa. Roads overrun with military vehicles. Malls and stores pillaged. And the dreaded sound of rubber bullets ringing through the air. How did this young democracy descend into chaos? Thanks to the malicious defiance of this man, South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma. He's often called the Teflon leader, blessed with the uncanny skill of escaping blame. Zuma is neck-deep in corruption, but in South Africa, he's still a hero, a champion of the poor, and when champions get jailed, expect a pushback.
The truth is, if they were to release Zuma, I think we would be free. As things stand, we are going to keep protesting.
Zuma is being investigated for corruption, but he's never appeared in court. No testimonies, no cooperation. So the top court charged him with contempt. He was sentenced to 15 months in prison. Zuma's response? More defiance. He refused to turn himself in for 8 days. All this time, his supporters were mobilizing.
Okay, those people are not mobilizing. These people, they call themselves MK veterans, but you can see these are not MK veterans. These are the youth trying to make themselves famous. So these are not mobilizing. These are people that they call themselves that went to their gates and in Gandla, Zuma's gate, and declare that they are there to protect him. No one will enter there. Anyone wanted to enter must go through them. There was no supporters mobilizing anything.
Then, on the 8th of July, Zuma surrendered. Soon, protests turned to riots. Slogans gave way to plunder. It wasn't just about Zuma's arrest anymore. It was about South Africa's waning economy. Nearly half the adult population still lives in poverty. Unemployment hit a record high of 32.6%, so discontent was always there. Zuma, the wily politician, played on it, but the government doesn't agree.
What we are witnessing now are opportunistic acts of criminality, with groups of people instigating chaos merely as a cover for looting and theft. There is no grievance nor any political cause that can justify the violence and the destruction that we have seen in parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng.
The president has a point. Stealing beer and TV sets does not solve poverty. Neither does burning shopping malls and warehouses. Caught in the middle of this mindless violence are the people. And as always, some communities are more affected than others. The Indian diaspora in Durban is one such community. Their shops have been singled out and looted. Could the unrest...
Okay, ma'am, please don't lie. The shops were not singled out. These have started in KZN and moved to Johannesburg. Those were the malls. This mall that you see here, this is a mall in Vosloorus, I think in Johannesburg. This is not Indian shops. This is not Indian malls. This was not a targeted things to India. It was happening all over KZN, more especially in Durban and Pietermaritzburg, and all over Johannesburg, all the townships of Johannesburg. It was happening. It was not happening in Indians. It was not only targeted to Indians. Don't go around spread lies, please, ma'am.
be gaining a racist overtone? Some residents certainly think so.
2 days have been the most turbulent days of my experience in Durban, and the kind of rampant looting, vandalism, and absolute lawlessness and anarchy which is going around. It is an outstanding event, I can say, already acquiring some racial undertones, and this can bring another dimension to this problem.
At the center of Zuma's corruption case is this family, the Guptas, vastly rich and equally nefarious. They migrated from India in 1993. Their rise involved bribing officials and stealing government contracts. Many South Africans feel the Guptas overran their country. Is this perception channeling the anger towards Indians? Unfortunate for a society that is all...
Okay, you see. She's trying to insinuate that all this chaos is happening because of Guptas. That people are targeting Indians because of Guptas. I'm sure she's not from here in South Africa. She doesn't understand what is going on. She's just speculating. She didn't do the investigation she was supposed to do before, because this seems like there's some legit news somewhere. So if this is a legit news, you need to do your homework, ma'am, and report things that are truthful. No one is targeting Indians because of Guptas. If that was going to be the case, that should have happened a long time ago. This thing of Guptas and looting and state capture, it came out years back, I think 5 years ago. And it was if that was the anger that was directed to Indians, it should have happened a while, within 4 or 5 years ago, not now. This was just a looting that was happening all over Durban, all over Johannesburg. It was not targeted Indians. No, none of the Indians mall were looted anyway. People were just shot in those malls. Black people were shot in those malls.
All too familiar with racism. 6 days on, the streets are still burning. South African democracy is at a crossroads. Years back, one man waged this country's most dogged revolution.
Yeah.
He fought that back.
You see, that's why I wanted to play this video, because if you are from here in South Africa, whatever you do, it affects how we look as South Africans. It affects how people see us in other countries, how they want to come and invest in this country. You might not know what people think, and you might not even care what people think of you, but if you want to think of the country that you are living in, you must make sure that you you put in mind how investors work, how investors do their own investments, how do they want to see the country, do they want to see returns on their investments. If you're going around killing people, surely people will not want to come and invest here, because the country is in chaos. Their investment guarantee no returns. So I'm playing this video just for you to see how we are being perceived in other countries, in how these stories are being changed, how perspective of the stories are being changed to fit people's narrative. You see, so it's strange what is happening. It's really strange what is happening. Um, just before we get to the end, there's this a video of this lady that I just saw. It's disturbing, really. This is a police officer. These are police. I think there's 3 of them. It is said that they are abducting this lady. I think this man, I don't know. I haven't got full information on it, but I cannot trust what is written on. So, if you see here, even this policeman is wearing a paraclav. A policeman cannot be wearing a paraclav. I don't think that is within the law. We must be able to identify a policeman. You see, let's go back there and see. Look, this guy is wearing a paraclav. Look, a policeman cannot be wearing a paraclav. This is the abuse of power. So they are saying that a SA member from Krugersdorp manhandled a female learner after she refused giving him a number and decided to arrest. He supposed to be here. It is alleged that he has been following the student for weeks. You see, and this is Lozi from the EFF that was posting this. And I also saw this on the news, and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe. So this guy is a Zulu. He said, I am a Zulu myself, but on hashtag Phoenix story, I side with Indian community. Unless they wrongfully killed innocent people, looting someone's life is equivalent to killing them. If they killed looters in protection of their livelihood, then so be it. I don't know what to take from this. I don't know, because looting someone's shop is not equivalent to taking someone's life. Goods that are in the shop and someone's life, I don't think that's the same amount. That those things are carrying the same amount of value. The value of human life, it's nothing that you can compare human's life with. coming and take people as goods in their shop, it's not good. I don't condone it. So is killing. I don't condone it for whatsoever reason. Killing a person is it's something that I despise by any bone in my body. Can't be going around killing people within and think that that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. We can't be singing that song. We can't. It's just not okay. So before I close, make sure that you did subscribe. You see, last time I did mention that people must subscribe, and we gained few subscribers. I'm grateful for that. Please do subscribe and make sure that you get other people subscribing by sharing the video to your friends and ask them also to come and subscribe to FKU Africa Podcast. I'm going to be bringing you this beautiful news, stories that I have my take on them. Some of them are factual, some of them are my opinions because this is my podcast. So I get to have my opinion on things, how I see them based on things that I've learned in the past few years, things that I've experienced. I'm a very experienced person. Yeah, so I've experienced. I get to share my opinions with facts, with videos, sometimes with images. Try to explain stuff that's happening. This is for all of you in Africa, wherever you are. So I'm gonna be bringing you more of Pan-African history, so that you would know some of our heroes. More interviews to come. I was supposed to be having an interview with my friend about UFC. I'm just not ready yet in terms of getting into those virtual interviews. My internet is not strong enough here, so I want it to be crispy and with no interactions. So my internet is not yet okay because I'm not using the same router I was using. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get that sorted and come back and do that interview with my guy. It's all gonna be good. So yeah, man. Yeah, just before we close, just before you close. Um, okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, man. So yeah, just before we close, make sure you did subscribe. Fikiria kwa undani ndugu gutu tamako. Okay, so you know these videos, you will see the video on your left. It should be a playlist. On your right, it should be a most recent video. Just click in there and see what to watch. In the middle, that round yellow with the African flag. It's how you subscribe. Click in there and subscribe. Hala.